Hey guys, this is Zach with Team Covenant. I'm joined by Tim and Steven, and we are here.
Hi, Zach.
Hey.
Hi.
We're here with an exclusive preview from the upcoming deluxe for the Star Wars LCG Balance of the Force.
It's insane.
So
by the
good.
way.
I'm so excited.
Well, before we start, we should probably cover a little bit about the multiplayer, right? So the FAQ just released, and
the rule set, the insert in Balance of the Force was put up yesterday. Full 2v2 rules.
Which is just, has there ever been like a competitive 2 versus 2 format in a card game that you guys remember? I'm sure there's probably some older ones.
We've hosted those Thrones 2v2.
Yeah, the Thrones CV2s, which are awesome.
I mean, you have 2v2 events pop up, but never really have I seen it as an official, like a game-introduced format. Like, to me, Game of Thrones Melee is one of those unique features of the game because it's multiplayer, and it's a major tournament. So I'm curious to see. I know that on the Friday of Worlds they are having a tournament for 2v2. I don't think it's considered like a World Championship event where the winners are going to get to design something. But if, sort of like in Melee, this becomes...
Yeah, the overall Star Wars champion that actually wins the thing.
It's going to be a thing.
Yeah, it's cool. But getting the chance to play with friends that you normally only have to play against is awesome. I think that really changes the dynamic of like a meta, and it really changes the focus to this teamwork. And that I think that transcends into other areas too, right? So it's like now when you're testing one-on-one, it's like, hey, you're kind of my teammate too, so we're trying to help each other out, make our decks better.
Well, what's interesting too, what I really love about the idea is, let's say the three of us, we play quite a bit, we're pretty good at the game, and then someone new comes in, and it's like, kind of like if either you're going to throw them to the sharks or the good players are going to have to not try as hard, which isn't fun for anybody. But if I can sit them next to me and just kind of walk them, like we can play a game and I can make decisions and help them be like, hey, here's why we do this. Here's strategies.
Here's
not necessarily control it, let him have input, but it's a fascinating way to kind of get someone into the scene.
Awesome.
So.
All right, and important things to note on the multiplayer format, right, is like you can send a blocker or attacker, like one during the phase for your friends.
Yeah, you can borrow one unit.
You can send them one card if they choose to draw it, which they usually will. You can collaborate with
each other's hands. You can openly discuss strategy.
And maybe the most important thing is the limit 1 per objective deck applies across both players.
Yeah.
So, for instance, our first objective here, which I'll just dive right into if you guys are okay.
Go for it, man. Let's get to the previews.
The Blue Squadron Blue Squadron Support. Looks like they are on an assault there. 1/5, so nothing new there. Limit 1 per objective deck. It is a rebel objective, which is cool. It has an action. Anytime, focus this objective to have each friendly player look at the top 2 cards of his deck, add one of those cards to his hand, and put the other at the bottom of the deck. So an interesting little thing, rather than using the one resource to play stuff, you can essentially focus this thing down. Each friendly player, which I assume includes yourself, right? Is that fair to say?
I would assume so.
Are you friendly to yourself?
Yeah, each friendly player.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what that would say.
We can both look at the top 2, choose one, and then put the other one at the bottom.
What a big deal that could be.
It could be a big deal.
Super huge.
Yeah. Especially, you got to think like, you have one spare. You don't need that. Sometimes you don't need the resource. You got one sitting there. Maybe it's later in the game. You have 9 or so resources. You got some fleet command centers.
Maybe
and
you're
stuff going on.
janky Princess Leia.
Maybe. Yeah.
Ooh.
But yeah. So this is a good objective to start the thing off. And again, it kind of focuses on that multiplayer aspect. Of course, really being useful whenever you have 2 players that can benefit from the effect.
And that art.
B-Wings are the coolest.
I mean, they're so cool.
They're about the coolest ships that there are.
Even in a solo play, I mean, would you spend a resource to look at 2 and draw? Like it's like
I would.
It's a dark precog that costs 1,
it's
but
essentially
isn't
a dark precog that costs 1, yeah.
But doesn't cost you a card.
It doesn't cost you a card.
Sort of cost you a card.
I think that's okay.
Because one of them goes to the bottom. And
that's pretty good.
But not like from your hand.
Right,
it's just an extra card. Dark precog is net 0. Or no, yeah, net 0.
Net 0 cards, but better cards.
This is net 1.
Isn't Dark Precog draw 2, discard 1?
But you spend Dark Precog.
Ah, there it is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
There it is. All right, who wants Blue Leader?
I got it.
Uh-oh. Man, I was go for it.
Okay.
Tim's Blue Leader.
Up next we have Blue Leader. He's a unique 3-cost vehicle fighter. He's a unit, obviously, for the Rebels. He has 2 blast damage that are black and 1 edge-enabled unit damage. 2 health. He has a reaction. After this unit is focused to strike as an attacker, deal 1 damage to a target objective not currently engaged.
That is mind-blowingly good.
So good.
I don't know how this got out the door. This package, just 2 black objective damage. Whoa, hold the phone. Like
2 health's nice.
that's how you win the game, right there.
That's how you win the game.
That's insane.
Turns out whoever gets the most damage on those.
Question.
Answer.
Don't know that you have the answer because we're all new to this. Can you use this reaction on the dude caddy corner, your opponent caddy corner to you, rather than the one that you're directly facing in a multiplayer game?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
Totally.
Now, worth noting, in multiplayer rules, you can actually, it'll be 2 versus 2 on different sides of the table, and you can only attack the guy across from you.
Right.
But in this case, it doesn't say damage an objective that you can damage. It just says damage
To a target objective not currently engaged.
You could actually damage your own objective, technically.
That's interesting.
I would also assume like you can rebel assault the other person's objective, and you can.
That makes so much sense though. Like this guy, you attack and you hit your own target, but then you can do that's support. It's support. It's B-wing support. It's like this one has 1 on it over there. It's like boom.
It's what B-wings do. Now, I mean, imagine any number of ways to get focus off of units. Whether it's Princess Leia, whether it's the Wedge pilot, which kind of acts as like a trust your feeling. He can go on a fighter, right?
Yeah,
Fighter
he can.
vehicle.
Okay, so
Totally can.
popping him on this, I mean, you get 2 unit damage, you get 4 blast damage, and you get to trigger the thing twice. Even if it's 2 separate attacks, that's even better because you'll get the unopposed. He can do a lot of damage.
Amazing.
He can deal it. So 2 thumbs up here. This isn't too good, but it's really fantastic.
It's just it's at the pinnacle,
Super
which is
solid.
what you expect from the first card in the objective set. Usually, it's a bomb card of some kind, right?
if there is a bomb to be had.
So that's good.
Yeah, red 5's 3. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
he's good. All right, next up we have a B-wing, which we actually
Stock.
have 2 copies of. Neutral, 2 cost, 1 force icon. A black unit damage, 2 edge-enabled blast damage. It's a vehicle, it's a fighter, 2 health, not bad. Reaction, after this unit is focused to strike, each other friendly player draws 1 card. Notice the word other there, so
Massive.
it's not you, but it strikes and your friend gets to draw a card.
Yeah.
Seems not bad.
Yeah, that's really good. So it's the complete flip of Blue Leader, right? The black and the edge enabled and the icons.
Yeah.
But really, just having a unit for 2 like this that can pretty easily clear out a defender, a chump defender, and get his 2 edge enabled blast in there is awesome.
I mean,
a lot of times you throw let's say he doesn't have the black unit damage. You just throw a dude in there like a apprentice or something, and it's like, now you got to fight me in an edge battle, and then you're going to lose. It's like, well, but I'm still going to kill you if you do that. So
yeah, well,
It's essentially a Y-wing at that point.
what I was going to say is when we
totally.
compare it to a Y-wing, which is a 2 cost neutral with 1 health, so it's very susceptible to
everything.
Force Shockwave, Vader's Trigger. There's so many things you can kill it with. It has the extra health, which is important. It has the black unit damage, and you get the ability to let your friend draw a card.
And another health.
Feels like it's a improved Y-wing to me. Which, look at it, it looks like it should be better than a Y-wing.
Yeah. Well, and remember, this is an objective set that you can only run 1 of. So at max, you have 2 of these guys in your deck, unlike a Y-wing, which we see
Millions of.
ubiquitously.
Yeah.
So this is also
For now.
important. This is another objective set with 2 cost units for Attack Planet Delta. So just another option for them to be able to look at the top of the deck
And throw B-wings everywhere, which is not what you want unless you're the Rebel player. So let's move on. Sealing it up with an event. I love objective sets like this, by the way. This has been a good spread so far. We've seen 3 units. We've got an event, and then we've got 1 more, which assuming is a fake card. Just hoping that. Not that I've seen it or anything, but...
you would think something like that.
1 cost, 3 force icons.
How important for the
That's
Rebels,
so
dude.
important for
Worth
the
it
Rebs.
alone.
Gotta tell you, it's so important.
I hate the Rebels.
Event, play only during your turn. It's called Rapid Fire. Target up to 2 units, each controlled by a different opponent. Deal 1 damage to each targeted unit.
It's huge.
So unit here, do 1 to each. I think this is a fantastic card.
I'm picturing so many duty officers, counselors, just getting
Just
wiped
nonsense,
by this.
basically.
Even if you have 2 of these in your hand, paying 2 to kill 2 health things.
Yeah, it can be
It's worth it.
huge. And hey, if you don't need it at that moment, it's a 3 force icon. This is just a card that you don't ever really not want to see.
Yeah,
it's
it's
like 1,000 negatives there, wasn't it?
you don't
Ever really not want to see. You want to see it.
Yeah, I mean the interesting thing about it is it's not like you're gonna build a deck around this idea, but it's a 1 in 50 cards roughly that's gonna be in your deck. You're never not happy about it, but
It's
solid.
nice when it happens.
Yep.
A little rapid fire. All right, Tim, finish us off here. What do we got?
The last card in the pack is a fake card.
Yes.
Supporting fire. It's one force bubble. Target friendly player may place one non-fate card from his hand into your edge deck.
Including yourself, unless I'm mistaken, right?
Yeah, totally.
So this has a lot. This can do a lot of work in a lot of places.
We reveal, and then it's like, oh, I'll just go ahead and drop this guy in because I'm gonna.
Because now you know how many you.
Or I'm gonna drop this Twist of Fate in.
You can't do a fate card.
What?
Non-fate card.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, that's the first.
I read it and I didn't see it.
I thought that was the first thing I thought of. I remember that because yesterday I saw it and I was
That
like,
is hilarious.
Ah! And then
Now,
it was, oh wait, yeah.
It's important to note the force icon on here. I don't know if you see that the one force icon on it.
It's not great.
It's there.
It is there.
Thanks.
It's less good. It's rebel to me in the sense that it's not doing great, but the ability to pop one in is insane.
And I mean, let's say you're playing rebel, your friend's playing Jedi, right? And you drop this supporting fire, and it's like, hey, that Yoda that you don't need is in your hand. Throw him in here, and then it's like now all this objective damage goes off. I think it's good design, is what this is.
Yeah.
Like this is the way you want to play a multiplayer game. Give yourself the ability to.
This is a nightmare.
Yeah.
Card, because the rebels, one of the biggest things they struggle with is the edge battle.
Right.
And giving them this card is a big deal. It's massive.
I feel like you put it in and you pass until they stop playing. Because normally you put one in as the rebels, and it's like, yeah, who cares? So they might put one or two in.
And then, I mean, assuming you have a 3 force icon card in your hand.
Or your buddy does.
Yeah. That's crazy.
And you don't even have to either. So it's like, I can't win this. All right, you win.
Yeah.
You wasted 2 or 3 cards.
You just get to remove the risk. Maybe a twist. But it lets you just put one card in.
Yeah.
Which is the important thing. It's deceptively 2 cards out of either player's hand. So, yeah.
Deceptively 2 cards.
It is. It is, man.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, I've done so many. As a Sith player, I'll play twist. You go. You put one in. I'm like, pass. It's like, well, if they're dumb enough to put 2 cards in, then fantastic. And
insulting.
Tim was like, I just did that on the stream Tuesday. So I don't know. It makes that move less good to me. Or what I'll do a lot of times is I'll counter that. I'll go back and forth between Twist or Palpatine.
Right.
Or Vader. And it's just like one card, so it looks like a twist. So to put 2 cards in, it's kind of you're just in a bad spot. In this case, it's like, no, you're not getting me with that crap. So luckily there's only one, and you can only have one in your objective deck.
I'll tell you what I'm impressed with here is this entire objective set. We saw a lot of stuff that obviously is leaning towards multiplayer play. But if there was no multiplayer format, this would be a fantastic objective set, just as for solo play as well. So being able to have objective sets that are multiplayer themed, but that are just as potent in a single player game, that is just good design, is what that is.
Well, and what you can really do with the design space there is make something that is extremely good in multiplayer that's still solid in single player.
Right.
Like, if there was an extra ability in here like that, whatever it is, like the ability for your friend to put an edge card in, it multiplies the lethalness of that edge card. But it's still something that's fabulous in one-on-one. So I absolutely 100% agree, and it's such a cool way to take this game.
Yeah. And
let us not forget the 3-on-1 format as well.
Yes.
Where it's like, oh, do this, and a friendly player can put a card in. Now it's 3 guys. Or all your non-you get to draw a card.
All non-you.
All non-yous. So
Classic non-you.
Your 2 teammates both get to draw a card in that instance. So there's just it's sort of like chess in 2D versus 3D. It's just a whole new level of what the pieces can do. They don't do anything different. They're just capable.
They just go a lot more places. Yeah, all right. Well, is that it?
That's it. Balance of the Force. Hopefully we'll be here soon.
Balance of the Force preview, guys. Thank you so much. This has been Blue Squadron Support, if I'm not mistaken, right? Blue Squadron Support.
Nailed it.
And special thanks to Fantasy Flight Games, of course, for making this game of Star Wars, but also for going multiplayer with it. 2v2 is a format I think that many, many people have wanted forever. I mean, growing up, any video game is like, if it's not co-op, I'm not interested. So it's like, we playing Sunset Riders or not? You know, that kind of a thing. So this is cool to see this finally hit the tabletop sphere in seems to be a really good way. And so thank you guys for that. And thanks for the exclusive preview. thank all of you guys for watching. And whenever Balance of the Force comes out, you can guarantee that we will have it to satisfy all of your Balance of the Force demands.
And we'll be unboxing it.
And we'll definitely be unboxing it. So don't miss that either. We will catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching.